Today I'm going to be talking about a tool that I believe every web designer should have in their WordPress toolkit. This one tool have not only become one of my go-to installs for every client project, but it's also helped me cut down and eliminate some of the plugins that I used to rely on. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking all about the Nexter plugin, and I'm going to talk about the Nexter theme. I'm going to show you guys how to use it. I'm also going to be breaking down the Nexter extensions and telling you what it has to offer as well. And we're also going to be talking about the Nexter blocks. Now, y'all know how I love to keep my videos very in-depth, and I really want to maximize how much information I can give to you all when it comes to plugins and tools that I do recommend. Thank you, the team over at Nexter, for sponsoring today's video, and let's go ahead and hop right into the tutorial. Hey, and if you're looking to try out Nexter for yourself, be sure to check the description. I have all the information and details down below. All right, so first thing first, we have a freshly new WordPress installation right here. As you see on the left-hand side, we have no additional plugins. We honestly don't have anything on this website. It's pretty bland right now. So if we were to just come here and just view our site, this is pretty much what we have right now. A default header, the info of a blog, and we have the footer right here. This was completely made with WordPress. This is the default theme that you will have upon a fresh new installation. Now, since that's pretty boring, the first thing we need to do, because this is going to be the first component to the Nexter ecosystem or their tool, is to go down here to Appearance and click on Themes. Now, if we were to just choose Add Theme from here, you know, most times if you're familiar with using, WordPress to build out your sites, you're going to be familiar with things like Astra, Hello Elementor, which is honestly the one I use quite often. You even have Cadence, Ocean WP, and you even have another one called Bloxy. But that's besides the point. This is the one, but even Nexter have their own. So if we just go up here and then just search in Nexter, you'll see that the Nexter theme is right here, and we can go ahead and install and activate the theme. Now again, Nexter is just like any other one of the other things like Astra, Bloxy, etc. So the first thing they're gonna tell you is you can now view your site. So if we now just go back to view our site, you will see that it looks a little bit different from what we just saw before. At first it looked like this, using the basic 2025 WordPress theme. And this is what we'll get with the Nexter theme. So back on the dashboard, you will see that we have this little notification here. Now, before we hop directly into this, let's go back to view our site, because I do want to highlight this. Similar to Astro, Bloxy, etc., you can, of course, go ahead and start using the customized button right here. So we'll just click on this. You can indeed start building out your website using the customizer right here. Now, obviously be aware that these things do change depending on the type of theme that you install. I'm expecting you to be watching this tutorial and you are already familiar with WordPress, so you pretty much get what I mean. But if we were to go back here, and like I was showing you guys, if we were to click on Add Theme, and you have all of these different options of themes that you can choose from, well, this customizer that we just got into will be different. They will have different options depending on the type of theme. So with that out of the way, if we were to just click on general, you can see that Nexter allows us to do some settings for the container, the header, the footer, the sidebar, body style, selection, text color. So if you were to just choose this, as you can see at a click of a button or toggle, you can disable the header. As you see now, the header will be gone. Because let's just say maybe you don't want to use the header of this customizer and you want to create your header from scratch with the theme builder, which we're also going to talk about later in this tutorial. You can now quickly just disable it there. And of course, you have more options right there. So like I was saying, with using the customizer that we were just on here, let's say you want a little bit more functionality, you want a little bit more creativity, or creative space for you to really get creative. That's where this next component of the Nexter ecosystem comes into play, which is called the Nexter extension. So let's go ahead and activate this one right here. And as you guys see, we have a new plugin. This is the only plugin we have right now. I will be upgrading it to Pro in just a second. However, guys, here is the only plugin that we have on this website. Now that it is installed and activated, you will see that we have this little tab over here, and we can go to the dashboard. They have their own theme builder, like I was just saying. You don't have to use this customizer if you want to get a bit more flexible. They have their own theme builder here, and then they even have code snippets. So let's dive into this Nexter extensions and see what more they have for us. All right, so right here on the dashboard, you see we have this nice little side panel, and then everything, of course, on the right side will be from the tabs over here. So the first tab is just a welcome to give you more information about the Nexter tool, just so you can stay up to date and follow along with the community. But the next thing is the theme builder. Now, the theme builder and the code snippets are the first two things that you also see here. So no matter if I choose it from here or here, they both are going to be the same thing. So if we were just to click on the theme builder now, you will see, just similar to any other WordPress theme that you do install on your WordPress website, you have the theme builder where you're able to create more custom things for your website. So again, guys, if you were to use this for the header and footer, or just, you don't want to use this basic setup that they have here, that's where the theme builder right here underneath the Nexter's extensions come into play, because now you can go to the header and you can now create a new template just like normal. Of course, you have to select the template. This is going to be for the header, but of course you have these options here. So we'll just choose header. We'll just give it a name. And of course, once we give it a name, we go into our builder of choice and we start building. The next thing we have is the code snippet. So if I just click on code snippets right here, you'll see that you do not need another tool for this. Now, I talked about this in the beginning of this video, guys, that this tool is going to maximize the amount of things you can do without the extra plugins and bloat on your WordPress website. So right away, like I said, the fact that they have code snippets, normally you would have to install a new plugin to get these code snippets, especially if you need some PHP code snippets. Now, these are just some demo ones, but as you see on the main one right here, the main tab, you'll just see a list of all of these snippets that you have on your website. They even have a little description, or you can set the description, which we're going to get into in just a second. Some type and tags, the status right here, which I think is really good. So at an easy glance of a toggle, you can go ahead and just toggle it on or toggle it off. Now again, guys, we are using the free version, so it will be some things that we won't be able to do, but let's go ahead and hop right into it. Let's create a first code snippet. So we just click on create snippet. As you see, the first thing we can do is just give it a name. Obviously, it's going to be by default defaulted to active. And if we were to just scroll down, we have the preview of the code. So let's just say you went somewhere, you found this cool code that could, hide certain things for WooCommerce. You can now just come in here and paste it right there. And right here, you have a type. So you can now add a code snippet for PHP, HTML, CSS, or even JavaScript. And all of these you can do for complete free using this one. Now, I think this is really good because Nexter allows you to choose between any one of these for complete free. However, it's another tool that I was just using. I'm not going to say the name. I can't even remember it, to be honest, but I can't use all of these for free. I could only upload, I think it was CSS and PHP, and that was it, or HTML, one of the two, but I didn't have access to all of these. So that's where Nexter really comes in and kills the game with that. Now, if we were to just scroll down some more, you will see that we also have this placement method. Now, with most code snippet plugins, you do have a placement method where they automatically place it for you, or you can insert it via shortcode. And then you have the placement where if you want to choose, or for you to choose where you want this code to be placed and activated. So do you want it to run on all pages? So this is site-wide. You can also choose between specific pages, and right here if it's e-commerce specific. So it's totally up to you, and you have the options, and you have quite a bit of options here when it comes to for PHP snippets, entire site or entire admin area. You can choose from there. And of course, there's always the little I for you to have more information. And as you see, the only thing that's in the pro version underneath this section is going to be the target via CSS selector. So if you do need this, then you will need the pro version. So if I just close that now and we go down, you will see that you can also schedule these snippets to start and end. Maybe you only need this code snippet to go during this time of you having a sale, or maybe you only need it for the weekend or something like that. You can go ahead and do that. But again, it is pro. So if you are looking for something a little bit more fancy with your code snippets, like a schedule, then you would need the pro version. If we're to come down here, we also see that we have some dynamic logic. And if you just enable this, you can now choose how this code snippet shows up on your website. So now you can get really, really creative, which is again something that I didn't see in my last code snippets tool that I used before. So I think that's pretty dope. And last but not least, underneath the code snippets area, you do have some basic information. So you can put a snippet tag. So remember, if we were to go, let's go back to see all of our code snippets. So on the list of the code snippets, you'll see that they have this description, they have the type, and they have the tag. So we'll just go back to create new and scroll all the way down to the basic info. This area right here is where that stuff will be displayed. So they give you a ton of options, honestly, when it comes to the code snippets. And again, all of this is for free besides the insert shortcode and a few options underneath the snippet placement. And also the scheduling feature is pro version. But other than that, everything else in this code snippets is completely free. Absolutely phenomenal. And let's go back to the dashboard because there's so much more we have to touch bases on. So we just talked about the theme builder, and then we talked about code snippets. Now it's time to get into some more stuff, and we got utilities up next. Now, with the utilities, as you see right off the bat, it's just giving you some basic additional functionality for your website, where you would have originally needed other third-party plugins to do. So we're all familiar with using WordPress and needing a duplicate post plugin just to simply duplicate things on our website. Well, now with Nexter extension, all you have to do is toggle this on and you can set everything up for yourself, and you can start duplicating your pages, your posts, and things like that. You even have an option to upload custom fonts. So if you want to upload custom fonts, you don't need, again, any third-party tools to do this. You can just go ahead and toggle it on and toggle it on, go to the little wrench, and you can now start uploading your custom fonts. Another thing I really think is cool, even though it is in beta, is going to be the SMTP email option. Now I think this is super dope because right now, currently, I do use Fluent SMTP for a lot of my client sites. However, Nexter extension has this built in. So again, no other outside tools. You just toggle it on, and then you have the section or the settings right here where you can do the Gmail SMTP or you can do a custom SMTP. And literally everything you need is absolutely right here. These are the things that I genuinely would need, right, when I'm doing SMTP on my client sites, and Nexter got it right here. Now, if we were to just scroll down, you do see there is quite a bit of other things right here that are pro. But some more stuff is free. So we have this admin role switcher. Now this one is absolutely cool. So we're going to touch bases on these pro ones in just a second. However, this one is absolutely great. Have you ever been building out your clients' websites, and maybe they wanted to have a team and they needed this team to have specific access? If you've ever wanted to see what their website would look like from that other's role's POV, you can easily do that right up in here. After you turn it on, again, you go here, and then they will give you this drop down. It'll sit up here, guys, and it would have now view as, and you can choose how you want to view it. I think this is super phenomenal. Now, again, we do have some pro things right here. So as you see, they have a taxonomy term order. This is the new feature, actually, which I think is super dope. Again, you'll need another tool to do that. However, guys, it's up to you to choose what you want to use. And as you see, it's super easy to just toggle these things on and off. We're going to be talking about the pro in just a second, but let's go ahead to the performance tab. Still on the free version, guys. We're still on the free version. And let's check out what the performance tab have for us. So as you see, the performance is going to give you more so of how your website will be reacting. So if you are one of those people who want to make sure the performance is in top shape, you can go here to this performance tab and you can just go ahead and go to the settings. So we just go here to advanced performance, click on the little eye or hover over the little eye. It says a set of handy options to fine tune your WordPress site's performance and remove unnecessary code. Absolutely great. We just click on this little wrench right here. And as you see, we can scroll down and there is a lot of toggles that we can use. So again, if you're familiar with, emoji scripts or your dash icons, removing short links, disabling embeds, you can do that all with the toggle of a button right here and just save your changes. There's a few more right here. So you have the Google fonts where you can now do some settings for your fonts and how they show up on your website, which indeed will help with your performance. You have register custom image sizes. So you can go in here and you can actually have your own custom image sizes created right here in the back end of the Nexter extensions. That way only those are the ones running on your website. Then you also have disable image sizes. You can do that there, and you can even do some revision controls and heartbeat controls. Now you can't really just talk about performance without talking about security. And again, Nexter extension, make sure they take care of that for you as well. As we see, we have security right here. That's the next tab we're going to dive into. Now you see there is quite a few things here. Again, we have some pro things. So we have like two-factor authentication underneath the pro. So if that's what you're looking for in terms of your security, be sure you do go with the pro version. And as you see, there's a few other things right here in the pro. But for free, for completely free, guys, you get to get some advanced security settings. So if you just to click here, you have a nice little list of things that you can now do. Now, some of these, like hiding the email from spam bots, is the pro feature, which I think is a really, really good thing to have. So guys, if you do get the pro version of Nexter extensions, be sure to toggle this on. However, you have quite a few things that you can also do here. So if you want to hide WordPress version, you want to do that, you can do that. You can disable the file editor, you can easily do that. And as you see, you have some more things right here, like secure cookies, which is a really good one. REST API right here, and then you even have iframe security. So this can really help you if you are familiar with security options, and if you want to just keep some basic stuff toggled on your website without uploading a third-party plugin, here you go. All right, then you even have the captcha to protect your site right there. And then you have this cool thing, which is the custom login URL. Now, currently right now, I'm using ASC, the Advanced Site Enhancements plugin, but Nexter extension is going to honestly, it's not going to be needed anymore. I can just use that, and now I can just come here, and instead of having the /WP admin at the end of your WordPress login website URL, you can now change that, and you can even change the URL behavior. And you can also have a custom message if people visit that old one. So definitely take advantage of that too. Again, guys, you can do that for completely free. And then you even have the SVG upload toggle right here. So you can now upload cool little icons or other like custom made SVGs that you make in maybe Adobe or something. You can now toggle it on and have it uploaded to your website. Now, the performance and the security was a bit robust. They were a bit serious. Now let's move over into something that's a bit more fun and universal for a lot of my freelance web designers like myself who have a lot of client projects. So if we were to just click here to the admin interface, which is the next tab, you will see that we have some things we can do with the overall look or experience of this WordPress dashboard that we're currently looking at right now. So basically this top bar stuff over here, we can now edit some of the admin settings for the interface. Now, the first thing you see for free, we do have the disable admin settings, we have clean admin bar, and then we have wider admin menu. Now, to do certain things like user profile clean or branded WP admin, you will definitely need the pro version. However, I will be swapping over to the pro version in just a second and show you guys what this WP admin menu organizer can do, because this is a really, really good one. But right off the bat, you guys see for free, you can now disable the admin settings. So if we were to just turn this on, let's first take a look at what we have. Right now, we have this top bar here, we have this sidebar, and let's visit this dashboard actually. Let's visit that. As you see on the dashboard, when you first log in, no matter how many times you remove different notifications, no matter how many times you hide these or anything, these things will still pop up. Well, actually, you can. If you go to the screen actions, you can kind of disable them and they won't show up. However, nobody would know to do that. Overall, it just doesn't look welcoming. It looks honestly overwhelming, but that's where Nexter extensions come into play with the admin interface settings. So now you will see that you have all of these different options of things you can disable. So you can disable the entire front end admin bar if you want to. You can disable or hide some theme updates, plugin update notifications, core update notifications. So all of these different notifications, you can now just simply toggle these and now you will not get the notification. Now, depending on what type of work you do, you might need these notifications. So just, use this at your own will. Another big one is removing the welcome panel. So again, on this dashboard, if we were to just go back here, you'll see that every time, let's just say I handed my website off to my client, she has her website, but now every time she logs into the back end of her website, she will always see this. Well, she could just go up here and she could just remove it like that. But then she still have all this and it still just doesn't look pretty. But what if you could just remove this all together where it's not even there to begin with? You don't have to worry about going up here and hiding things. You can completely remove it. That's where Nexter's extension comes into play, because now with the toggle of a button, you can now remove that panel. So if I were to just save this right here, click done. Let's go back to the dashboard. Let's refresh. As you see, it's now gone. And if I go up here to the screen options, I don't even have that welcome option to even check because it's not hiding it anymore. It's completely removing it. And you can do the same thing with all the rest of these. If you don't need your client to see all of this, maybe you're creating a custom dashboard, you don't need any of these. You can go back to the Nexter extension and you can actually disable the activity, hide at a glance, hide quick draft, site, and etc. Let's go ahead and save that. Go back, refresh, and now you see we only have that. And again, on the screen options, we only have this one. So Nexter makes it completely easy for you to do that. And since we're on here, I just want to throw out, remember earlier inside of the utilities, we had this show as admin role switcher or view as admin role switcher. We talked that on and now you see exactly what it looks like. So again, if you're on you're on your client website and you're making all these different roles for their team, but you want to view the dashboard as that particular role, and you can see what it looks like to get better, visuals as to how you have things set up. You can now easily just go to view as and go here. And this is really good when you're also managing a lot of websites yourself as well. You can do that as well. Then right here, you have the clean admin bar. So we just toggle this on. Right now, guys, this is our admin bar. So if we go up here to the settings, we could choose to remove the WordPress logo. This is this one right here. We can remove the home icon and the site name if we didn't want that to be right there. I actually want to keep that one on. We can remove the comments because maybe I'm not doing any blogging. And even let's go ahead and remove howdy because I'm not really too fond of the name howdy or the term howdy. Let's go ahead and save that. And if we were to just now refresh, you will see now that our new bar is now a bit more cleaner. We don't have that WordPress one right there. We have the few things that we want here. And now instead of it saying howdy, it just says my name and leave it at that. So that's a really, really good one as well. Again, for you to clean up not only your admin area or dashboard, but for your clients as well. Now, let's just say you guys wanted to make this a little bit wider. Maybe your screen is really small and you have the text on your computer extremely large and you need a little bit more room. By default, you can't necessarily do this with WordPress alone, but Nexter has this option for a wider admin menu. You just toggle it on and choose the size or of the width. You save it. And again, if we would just refresh, you will see now it's a bit wider. I'm not going to keep that, but it is here for you if you so please. So let's just go back and let's just disable this and let's refresh. And there we go. Simple as that. Now, another really good feature would definitely be this WP admin menu organizer. So I'm going to go ahead and upload quickly the pro version, and I'm going to show you guys what you're able to do with this pro version that unlocks some of these features. And just like that, we're back underneath the admin interface, and now you see the WP admin menu organizer is now available for us. So now I can just toggle this on, and if I were to reload this page, you'll see that the Nexter extensions also give me this fourth little option right here, which is called the admin menu. So I just click on admin menu. Now you'll see everything that we see over here on our left side panel, I now see right here. Well, this is because now I can now organize this exactly how I want. You can now rearrange it. So these little 6 dots right here just lets you know that you can now rearrange things. So maybe you want to put media and pages above the post because maybe they're not going to use that. You can easily just toggle on and off what you want to do. So if you toggle it, you'll see that you can now hide this, right? Or you can always hide for users, and then you can now choose the role. So for the comments, I will just do hide until toggle. So basically I want this to be hidden until I toggle it back off. So if we were to just save the changes, take a look over at our left side panel for a second. All right, let's go ahead and save those changes and let's refresh. Now you will see that we moved media and pages above like we can see here, and we no longer see comments inside of the menu right here. Now this separator is just a little space. I wish it was like a divider line, something similar to what CrocoBlock does, but it doesn't do that. So again, you can easily just toggle this off if you want to hide this and get rid of it. It's totally to you. We can now do that. We can refresh, and now we won't have this space right there. So this is going to give you a lot of flexibility in terms of how you do your websites or your dashboards for your clients. And another amazing pro feature in the Nexter Extensions Pro version would definitely be the branded WP admin. So if we were to just toggle this on and we choose the settings, we can now customize the look and the feel of the admin login screen to match our branding. This is the current or the default WordPress login screen. So by default, this is what you and your clients will see, which could be very, very, very boring. Because once you're back here, you can now choose how this will look. So you can choose whether you want the login layout to be left aligned, center aligned, or right aligned. Basically, this layout piece is only going to, let's go back here, it's only talking about this piece right here. So this little area of the username and password in the button details, that's where you're choosing the layout for. You can also change the background and the background color. And if you do logo, if you just click here, you can now insert or upload your own logo. And you can even choose the width of the logo as well. And it also has a link, which I also think is pretty good. So when people click on that logo, they can easily go to whatever link you want them to go to. You see, with a few updates, we make this look a lot better. So you guys get the point. Now we switched it from the free version to the pro version only in the admin interface. However, if we was to go back to security and performance, you'll also see that a lot of those pro features obviously are now accessible to us as well. So remember earlier, for free, two-factor authentication was something that you could not do underneath the free version. Well, now we can. Even if you wanted to do limit login attempts, which I think is really good if you want to make sure that you have it set up on your WordPress website where it's only a certain amount of times where people can attempt to log in and what happens after multiple attempts, as well as if you want to never block an IP address, maybe let's say your computer or something, you can do that right here. So some other good security things you can do now, like this content protection. Awesome thing that you can do. If we were to just go here, let's say that you do blogging on your website and you want to make sure that nobody can go to your blogs and steal your content. This is going to be absolutely phenomenal for you. All right, so first you can start off with who can access this. So you can toggle on what rows on your website can even access this to begin with, and choose that. But if we just scroll down, you can now disable right click. So it disables this ability of people to do this right here, right? This was just a right click. I just right clicked on my mouse. You will see that it came up with those options. Well, now you can disable that so that no one can do that anywhere on your website. You can also disable drag and drop. And as you scroll down, you see there's a ton more. So again, if you're doing some blogging sites and you want to disable the Control-C and the Command-C so people are not able to copy, or of course the Control-V for pasting, you can do that. So we're just going to toggle those on, but as you see, you can scroll down. There's so many things you can do in terms of content protection on your website. Let's go ahead and save this. And now let's view our website. Now let's try to right click. Oh, it says warning, this function is disabled. I cannot right click on this website. Now let's try to highlight this. Let's say I want to steal something from this blog, or let's just open up this blog all the way. Let's just see what else is in here. Okay, there is a comment. There's nothing too really in here, but let me see if I can just copy this. Oh, I still cannot do it. Let me copy. Okay, I can't do that. Okay, so I can't do absolutely anything on this website. So again, if you're looking to protect your content, Nexter will have that for you. Now, there's a ton of different pro features that we didn't necessarily discuss, but however, as you will see, once you go in and you have the pro version, everything that is pro will unlock, like this custom user avatar. So for the custom user avatar, so if you guys see right here, my username just has this blank image. Well, by default inside of WordPress, if you want to add a profile image, and I can show you guys very quickly, let's go to the users, all users, and let's edit this user. So let's edit myself. If I were to scroll down to this area for the profile picture, you will see that you can only change your profile picture on Gravatar, meaning if I were to click on this, this will take me to an entire different website where I have to log in, create an account just to have my image on my profile for my WordPress dashboard. Well, Nexter makes that completely easy. So if we go back to the Nexter and we now toggle this on right here. Now, if we were to go to that same user, now you'll see we can just simply upload. So we just toggle this on. Back over here underneath the user, remember guys, we only had this option at first. Let's refresh this page. And let's scroll down. Where is it? There it is. Profile picture. We now have another profile picture option right here, and all we have to do is click on change, and then it will open up the media library. So now we have to just go to upload files and grab a picture from our computer. Super, super dope. Now, I think I talked enough about the options from the Nexter extension, and the reason why it took a little bit more longer on this piece of, or this component of the Nexter ecosystem, is because I think it's just absolutely phenomenal. This is the one part of their ecosystem that will really help you to not necessarily need all those other third-party plugins. However, there is a third piece of this component, which will be Nexter blocks. So we just go back to the plugins, or actually we can just go down here to extra options. If we just drop this down, you'll see that we have a lot of other things right here. Now, these things are pretty simple and straightforward and self-explanatory, but if we were to just click on this one right here that says more products, it'll now show you all of the other products that Nexter or the creator of Nexter actually have. So we would just scroll down. You see they have Nexter blocks, they have the plus add-ons for Elementor, Web Design Kit, UI Chimney. If you guys want those tutorials on these, be sure to comment that down below. And I'll see if I can get that created for you. But the next thing we're going to be talking about is going to be Nexter blocks. Now from right here, we can just install and activate it. Or you guys could always just go to the plugins, add new plugin, and just search for Nexter blocks. Since I'm right here, I'm going to go ahead and install and activate. I'm just going to go ahead and refresh. And as you see, we now have another one right here called Nexter blocks. We have a new tab now. We'll just click on this one. We can go to the dashboard and we can go to the patterns. We just go over here to dashboard. You see that you can import ready-made websites, or you can use the WordPress blocks. So think of the Nexter blocks as allowing you to have other editing options for your WordPress websites. So right here, you can basically just go ahead and create a or import a ready-made website. So obviously just think of it like a template. You just click that, get you a template, choose whichever one you like, and you can go from there. But I want to show you guys through this process because we'll actually see the import options for the templates through this process as well. So if we were to just click on use WordPress blocks, and we now continue, you will see that you have these options to select the type of blocks you want. So do you want some essential blocks? Maybe you want to add a data table block or widget, or an icon widget. If you want to add an image or pricing table widget, think of these blocks as different widgets that you can use when designing or building out your website. So you have them categorized into essentials. If we just use this blue scroll bar here, we have the creative tools, and you see a lot of them are locked underneath the creative, and you have the tab social, advanced, and so on. So depending on what it is you're trying to use for you building out your WordPress websites, you can just easily toggle them on. And as you see, for the most part in the essentials category, most of these are free. Only the few that has pro next to it are the ones that you cannot use. Now, so once you're done choosing the blocks that you want, go ahead and continue. And then it's going to take you to the template. And as you see, they have the progress bar up here for you. So now we are going to click on, or we're on the step to enable a template. So here we can choose how we want our website to look, or what type of website template we want to start with. Maybe you don't want to build your website from complete scratch and you want to start with a template. It's just as easy as choosing one and going from there. Now, obviously once you choose it, you're going to go through a little preview. You can actually see the website template in full effect before you even actually go through with it, which I think is really, really neat. And as you see in the URL, this is a W Design Kit piece. So this template that you do choose from here is going to be coming from the WP Design Kit, which is also a tool from them as well. Now, obviously, all of these are Gutenberg. So if you're an Elementor user, be sure to comment that down below if you guys want a video tutorial showing you guys how to utilize Nexter inside of Elementor, because they do have some things rolling out. However, right now, everything is for Gutenberg. So you can choose to enable the template, or you can skip it if you don't want to do this. But for the sake of this video, let's go ahead and enable it. So of course it will install WP Design Kit. Then the next thing we need to do is continue. Now it's going to have this little notification. You can decide to skip if you want. It's just asking you if you want the theme builder, but we already have that. So we're just going to choose skip. So the next thing they have is a special offer tab. So this will be what you will see if you are now on the pro. I'm going to take a minute to upload the pro version of Nexter blocks. That way you guys can see what you can benefit, or how you can benefit from the pro version. All right, now that I have uploaded the Nexter Blocks Pro, you see right here, it doesn't say the upgrade to pro version, or neither does it say upgrade to pro right here anymore. And it took me back to this part right here. So I'm just going to click on skip. As you see, I don't have that special offer as part of my progress anymore, but now I do have some options to stay up to date if I want to. You can choose to agree to this or not. It's totally up to you. And then all you have to do is start using it on the confirmation tab. So let's go ahead and click on start using. And now you will see for the Nexter blocks, we are using the pro version. So right off the bat, if we were to go here to the blocks, now you will see this tab is really, really long, guys. So again, underneath the essentials, creative, the tab, you remember what we were looking at earlier, where you can toggle on certain blocks. Now we see we have all of them available. And now if we were to go here to the WordPress templates, again, we unlocked all of these templates as well, because earlier we actually installed the WP or W Design Kit. So again, we have all of these different templates made by the Nexter Blocks team that we can now use for our design. So let's say I want this one here. Let's go ahead and choose download now. And as you see, it's going to open up the WP Design Kit, which is also sitting underneath the Nexter blocks. So now what we're going to do is choose this button right here, which is just a download button. And then it's going to open up the WP Design Kit, and you can start doing some settings. So right off the bat, you can give it a site name. So let's just say this is for BizStorks. Let me use mine. We can do BizStorks. We can give it a site title, and we can click on next. Then you have these few options of things that whatever your site needs. So if you're creating this for e-commerce shop, then you can toggle on e-commerce, and what it's going to do is make sure that the WooCommerce stuff is set for you. WooCommerce will be installed, it will be activated, and you will have everything you need to create your website as an e-commerce online store. And again, you have some other options here, but let's just keep it simple at that. Just click on this, I've read this, and continue. And now you see you have the content and media setup, which I think this is really nice. So you can import the demo content if you want to, which is what we can only choose right now. However, I think it's really cool if they have this smart AI content coming soon. So if you guys are, maybe you want to go ahead and import this demo with all of your content, you can do that. So as you see right here, the smart AI content will import the template with automatically generated text, images, and blog posts tailored to your niche. That's a pretty good thing or feature that they have coming soon. I can't wait for that to roll out. But for right now, we're just gonna go ahead and import the demo content. Click on next, and as you see, it's now installing the plugins, the theme, the site content, setting up the pages and the layout, and finalizing the settings. We're gonna give this a few minutes, and then we're gonna continue, and we're going to pretty much be finished because the next step is all set. Okay, so now that it's finished, that took around about 3 to 5 minutes. Now it says that the website is ready and we can now preview the site. So let's click on that. And immediately there is our site. So we're still on our domain name. So here it is, our domain name. And as you see, now we have our homepage, which is exactly what we just looked at once we were choosing and picking out our template. Just scroll down, we can see the sections if we were to just choose on one of the different pages. So let's go to the About Us page. We see that the About Us page is perfectly designed as it was on the demo. And let's just say we wanted to edit this page. Maybe we wanted to edit the content or anything. We can just click up here to edit page. So just click on this. Then you'll see it'll open up the editor. You can exit that out if you already know how to use WordPress, or you can go through it if you don't know how to use WordPress. But here's our page. This is everything we just saw on the live site. And now we can go in and we can begin editing. So we just choose this little layers tab right here. You will see that we have all of these containers right here that make up our about page. And if we just open up any of these, you will see that we have all of our stuff. So this first container is for the page banner. This is the page banner right here. It just says the title About Us. And as you see, if we choose this heading, we can now change this. So we go over here to the right side. So you have your layers here on the left. And once you click on certain pieces on the layers tab, if you check the right side, you'll see that you have the editing options right here. Then you have all of these other options as you would normally have for building out your websites. So of course, just similar to like Elementor or any other page builder, you have the layouts tab here with the main stuff with the text. Then you have the style tab here, so we can edit the colors. So if we wanted to, let's just say, change this color to something different, we can do that. And change the typography. It's totally up to you. And of course, if you go over to the advanced tab, you have more options right here. Now, another thing you can do, if you, let's just say you wanted to add something on this page, let's say all the way at the bottom, you wanted to add something different for this page, all you have to do now is click on this little plus icon right here. So now you will see that the Nexter blocks have all of these additional widgets that we can now use. They're called blocks, but just think of them, if you are an Elementor user or any other page builder user, you will probably know these as widgets. But you see you have all of these different blocks or widget options right here that you can now just drag and drop. So if you wanted to, let's say, add a flip box, you just click it and here it is right here. So now you can choose to design from scratch, or you can import a pre-designed template. So of course, if we just choose the predefined or pre-designed template, it will then of course open up the WP design kit. So they're showing us right here the options that they have, and all of these are free. So let's just say we wanted to go with this one. Let's go with this one since it is a bit more darker theme. Again, if you click it, it will bring you to the website to view it live. So let's go back actually, and let's just choose this little button right here for import. And now you will see we have it right here. So if I just was to close this layers tab, or yeah, and you will see we have that flip box right here. Now it's going to look a little bit squished because we have all of this open. Let's just close that out. And there we go. We have this flip box that we just imported easily. And now all we'd have to do is open up the layers tab once more. Yeah, this container here, the last one. And let's say we wanted to edit the options or the text in here, we can just simply do that. So this is going to be all of the flip boxes. You click on it. Make sure this little option right here is open, and this will bring up the block for the flip box. Remember, that's where we're on right now, flip box. So as you see, we're right here, and we can start editing this up exactly how we want it to. Now let's go ahead and press save. And let's actually view this page live. So let's go ahead and click on view page. So now if we were to scroll all the way down to the bottom, you will now see we have our flip box that we just added to the page. So it's super, super easy in terms of how you would use the WP design kit inside of WordPress when you do install it for the Nexter's availability. And that's pretty much it. That is the full take on the Nexter plugin. Like I said, I definitely wanted to bring you guys a more in-depth version, so that's why I really want to talk a little bit about each point. And as you see, we talked about 3 main points: the Nexter theme, the Nexter extensions, and the Nexter blocks. This tool is seriously becoming one of my go-to plugins that go on every client site. This is not up for debate at this point, and I really hope that if you found this video enjoyable or helpful to you, that you give Nexter a try. All of the links and details will be listed down below. And that's pretty much it for today's tutorial, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.